Georgia, Georgia.
All right. How y'all doing? Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night Live stream. Hope y'all had a good week. And since Kyle ain't here, and since Brian ain't here, I guess we need to get American Hillbilly to welcome all y'all nice folks up in here this evening.
All right, buddy. I'd be more than happy to. Welcome, everybody, to Georgia Shooting Connection, man. I was looking at the side chat, man. It's already rocking and rolling. Everybody's already having fun out there, Jamie. Oh, my goodness. I know you have some great topics to talk about already tonight because you sent them an email, and I'm excited about what we're going to be talking about, and we're going to have fun. I always love Fridays. I enjoy it so much. Getting to be here with you fine folks, and I really appreciate you having me. Oh, looky there. We got a special guest. Hi there, beautiful.
Hi there, Rigby.
Rigby.
Well,
1 second. Y'all carry on.
Alrighty. Well, anyway, what a great week it's been. The weather's cooling off here for us, so I've been able to shoot a lot of videos and just enjoying, some cooler weather. And so, anyway, what you been up to, Gene?
Oh, not much. I've been off work for a minute. Don't have any product coming in, so I've been doing a lot of tattooing, a lot of work around the house, making some videos. I'm doing a new video series on some called Safe Queens. And I released the first one came out today, and every Friday I'm going to bring a new item. A friend of mine opened up his safe to me, and it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. He's been a gunsmith and licensed FFL for years and a huge collector of some fabulous, fun, rare, some common items. But man, I've got a lot of weeks to go with this. I'm going to be like Walter's Moldy Monday. I got Friday Safe Queens and I got a bunch to show. Today, I started my first day of shooting. I got 3 days of shooting for the Sig Sauer Handgun Nationals. I had kind of a okay to crappy day, It's first day, shaking nerves off. A lot of big names there. A lot of people you only see online, But man, thanks for having me. I'm ready for the topic tonight. And let's see what we got going on down there, Walter.
Way down here, underneath, just so long as you know that you're sitting on the shoulders of, giants here.
Man, you got some strong shoulders, baby.
Boy, yeah, well, used to did. Anyway, hey, I'm happy to be here as always. I look forward to Friday night, just starting as soon as we shut this one down. I'm looking forward to next week. So I'm happy to be here in that side chat over there. You guys are doing it to it already. It's looking like a full house. They're just a bunch. I saw M1 Abrams Tactical Rabbit just showed up over there. Hey, M1. So I had a good week here until today. Got 2 or 3 videos out, and you guys know how on my videos I always start off with a little weather report and kind of brag on how good the weather is. Well, Mother Nature finally said, that'll be enough out of you. And today that old woman sent me all the heat from the whole rest of the country. It was 101 degrees here. Right on the coast. It never gets that hot here. We don't have air conditioners or we don't have clothes for that. And I thought, well, shut my mouth. She got me. So anyway, hey, I went to the range this morning early before it got overly hot and did some shooting of the double deuces. I took all my 22s up and rang some steel, so that was fun. And I got a video that just went up on Rumble on this new Free the Fuse series where I'm getting rid of all of my little leftovers on the shelf, and so that went up today. And I got stuff planned for the weekend and for next week, and just it's going to be good. So happy to be here as always. So hey, next up over here, Mr. Longbeard, Rip Van Winkle over here. How you doing, Mark?
Real good, Walter. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. Been looking forward to it all week. Thank you for having me. Didn't do any shooting or any reloading yet this week. I did pick up some lead last weekend, and I think maybe Monday morning. We've got Monday off, and I'm going to try to do a little bit of casting. I've got a new mold coming tomorrow. Getting some 45 Colt ready to take out and blast away with. So just looking for a great evening. Got some good topics to discuss. Been trying to keep up with the side chat. They are rolling along. Great to have everybody here. How about the Scotsman?
All right, what's up, folks? It's good to be here. Man, am I glad it's Friday, and always a pleasure. Sorry, there's not been a foreign domestic the last few weeks, but I've just been dealing with a few things. Life happens, and obviously it comes first. So my apologies there. We should hopefully be back this Sunday. So hope to see everyone there. But good to be here for sure. Always a pleasure to be here and hang out with you guys and talk reloading and everything else that we do. So, Jamie, what's going on, brother?
I'm dealing with this 308 stuff and got a stuck case, and I thought, if it can happen to me, it can probably happen to anybody, and it only takes a second to do it, but boy, let me tell you, it takes more than a second to get that sucker back out of there, and I'm trying to load up 100 rounds, and all of a sudden I'm stuck in the water. So we'll talk about that a little later. I hope I'm glad all you guys had a semi decent week, and I thank you guys for coming on the panel and help us out. And so thank you for being here. And any of y'all ever had a stuck case?
Yes.
Was it a Lee die?
Yes.
RCBS.
Yeah, Lees are pretty easy to get it out. You just take the top off, stick a punch down in there, and beat it with a hammer.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't cast or reload or nothing, but I mean, I literally have a stuck case right now, and I mean, it's tough, but it's stuck right here, and I've been trying to get this out, and I can't get it. Ugh, there. Okay. All right. There. Took care of my stuck case. I didn't have to use a dollar on it or nothing. But
Man,
hillbilly.
I wish I had slow motion replay. We got to work on that's when it's over with, and the little square pops up. How does it go and all that? And I'm gonna put. I want slow motion replay. And
That was great.
you don't pay us enough. No, James, it ain't that I'm stingy with the lube, man. I picked one up that I thought was lubed and it wasn't. I got it in the wrong stack. So that's from watching you guys on YouTube while I'm trying to reload. So it's all our fault. And Michael Hurtneck, why LOL? If you read the Lee instructions, that's how they tell you to get a stuck case out of their sizing dies. Seriously.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, somebody was saying something. No. Hillbilly doesn't reload yet, so and a lot of folks that watch us don't, and we're glad to have them. So you too can get stuck cases in the chambers of your firearms, and you hopefully it sticks on ejection and not on loading. When you get a loaded round stuck in your barrel, that's a whole different case. Yeah, Rune, good to see you out there, Rune. I love that stuff right there. Oh, Michael's laughing out loud because he's never had a stuck case. Let's put this up here.
Yeah, well, then you will, Michael. Just a matter of time.
It's kind of like shooting a chronograph. It's part of your initiation.
Yeah.
Or a
But-
target camera.
Yeah.
You just buy a nice punch set and a vise. You know, that's about all you can do.
I stuck one. It was a 44 mag case when I was first learning to reload 50 years ago, almost now. It was my very first setup. I had a set of RCBS dies and an old single stage press. And I thought that I had lubed the case enough, but I didn't. And it went up in there. And, and that's a big case and, long and big in diameter. So there's plenty of surface to get stuck. And if it ain't lubed right, it'll stick. And it did. And unlike the Lee dies, the RCBS, you can't just pull the decapping pin out the top because there's a little screw-on bulb at the bottom and it won't come out the top. So you can't get a punch down into the, through the hole in the top to knock it out. So I finally ended up cutting the base of the case off with a hacksaw and taking a pair of pliers and squishing the walls of that case in until it would come out. I didn't have a stuck case kit or anything. I was a raw beginner at the time, but I got it out, but it sacrificed the case.
Well, so far, Reloader 762 has got the tip of the week. Never stuck a case in over 40 years. Some military brass is overexpanded. The trick was 7.62 by 51. Fired out of machine guns. Run it into a 30-06 die first. To size.
Oh, yeah.
There's Mr. CW.
Hey guys,
What's up, brother?
Hey, buddy.
how's everybody doing?
Good.
Better now you're here.
That's good to hear. Where am I? I got no picture.
I don't know. You're in the dark.
Hmm. That's odd.
Invisible man.
Light.
Shouldn't be in the dark. There's my camera over there. She's clean. Well,
There you are. Well, you got an avatar there.
yeah, I put Sandra up there. You better look anyway. So I just walked in the door and punched the iPad on here. So we'll see how this works. How's
My
everybody
first-
doing tonight?
Good.
Doing well. Hope your week was good.
Actually, it was pretty good. It really was. I stayed super, super busy. I helped a buddy out 3 days during the week, and that kept me occupied for about 4 or 5 hours every day. And I had a pistol match midweek. I had a practice match Monday night. So I've had a full week.
A bunch of videos you put out too this week.
Yeah, I
you-
do a lot of that too. I gotta stay moving. I gotta stay thinking about other things. Otherwise, it gets ugly.
Well, we're talking about stuck cases, and I made my own stuck case remover kit after I looked at a couple of them from people that were trying to sell them, and we mentioned that the leads were easy. You just pull the tops out, put a punch in it, hit it with a hammer.
Yep. Yep. The other ones you need the extractor kits, or you make your own.
Yeah. Give me a
Depends on the
minute.
caliber. Some of them got that pesky little 1032 screw, and that's it. So you can't get in the top for nothing.
Right.
Yeah. Let me get what I did here.
Let me get myself a drink. I just walked in the door and turned this thing on, and it came right on. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, apparently it sounds like Lee knows that we're going to get stuck cases. So they got you hooked up.
Right.
And all the other people think you just too good and never going to get a stuck case. But when you do, well, there goes the die.
Yeah, that we all have that love-hate relationship with the Lee sizing dies. With that decapping pin arrangement that they've got. It's not a bad idea, but the execution of it's not that great sometimes, but it is nice to be able to pull that out of the way, out through the top. When push comes to shove, literally, and be able to knock that stuck case out with a punch.
Yeah, that's all. That's real cool. And we all like to pick on Lee, this, that, and the other. And Lee has some great ideas and innovation. And they do, and that's just the facts. It's just sometimes they get it just doesn't come out good. What?
There's new raccoons outside.
Oh no. There's a raccoon in my trash, y'all.
Uh-oh.
Trash panda.
Yeah.
I know.
But they're cute. Don't shoot them.
Yeah, well,
They're cute, Papa.
Shoot them. They're so cute.
go away. I'm busy, but
See how you are. I mean,
she's faking big time. Look what we got coming up in here.
well,
What's
hello, Daniel.
Daniel,
Oh, Daniel-san.
you take a wrong turn in Albuquerque or something?
No, I'm not reverberating, am I?
No, you sound
No.
good.
Okay.
Sound good.
Okay. Nah, dropped some goats off at the fairgrounds. Wife's got a show tomorrow. Hit RKO. Filled up my coffee mug. And Abby's trying to figure out what you do when you shoot the wire on your chronograph. Hey, duct tape works. Gorilla tape. I don't know if she's seen that one. Made a comment, but thanks for having me on tonight, guys. What are we talking about tonight?
Stuck cases.
Really nice.
Yeah, Mr. Pollard says I should open a window and do a window pop.
Oh boy.
At least
I know
get you maybe a CO2 powered pellet gun. You drill them a couple times, it won't come back.
Oh, somebody got trash pandas?
Yeah, I got a raccoon outside.
I had one for the longest time. I bought a CO2 powered pellet gun, and I popped him one day. Then he came back, and then I popped him again. I chased him all the way across the street, hitting him. Boom, 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 boom. He didn't bother my trash ever again. He was done.
There's Ron Wayne. Welcome in here, boss. Good to
Hey,
see you
Ron.
out there, man.
See ya.
Hey, Ron.
Ron,
The
you must be
man,
over on Hillbilly's channel.
he is.
wonder why I don't have a picture.
I don't know. Is okay, go down to settings and click on camera.
Yeah, I did, and I got option of front camera, back camera, or front ultra wide, and I tried all three of them, and nothing changed.
Hmm.
I got the iPad in the factory case cover holder thing, holding it up, but it didn't make a difference if I take it out. I got
Take that
nothing.
black electrical tape off the top of your
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, it's almost like that's the case, but
Yeah, it looks like it's like the case is closed over it. But if you tried both cameras front and back, that still didn't work.
and I got a mirror camera button too. If you're having problems, try restarting your device. Oh,
Is
well,
this the iPad or is this the?
yeah, iPad.
There's
I'm
my.
I'm not worried about it. We'll just let you look at Sandra. I'd rather look at her anyway.
Yeah, so with the rest of us.
Chessboard.
My first stuck case was a 350 Legend when I didn't know what I was doing. And it turns out those things aren't really straight wall.
Nope, parallel. They're tapered.
They are tapered.
That's a stupid long 9mm.
Yep,
So the
9 by
9mm.
45. That's
Yep.
what I call it.
A 9mm is actually a tapered case. It's not straight
Yep.
walled either.
Yep.
A lot of people think they are, but I'll tell you what, man.
Yep. Try loading them with 380 dies. You'll find out.
Yep. Try that, or try using a Makarov die.
Papa's Place did some horse trading. Look at that. What a
Boy,
deal.
yes, nice trade. Nice trade.
Yeah,
That was
We were
great.
talking about that. That's a good deal.
Yeah,
So we get it, and he came through for him. So I'm happy for him.
especially with 9mm ammo. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that 9mm up to $16 a box of Blazer for 50 rounds here.
We're getting it for about 12 here, but that's down significantly from where it was. It was there for a while. It was running like $17.99. I'm like, okay. I should probably go check on that.
Your guest,
Yeah, check on my.
your dinner guest.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is what I did. And I know I'm going to get a ration of crap from CW and 6-shooter Texan before I start showing this.
Uh-oh.
But this is what I did and it worked. So there's my brother Chico. What's going on, man? That's a great idea. I got to do that. I do have wife's Walther P22 in yonder. Okay. First thing I did was went and get myself this is a 9/32, I think. No, it's a 13/64 drill bit and a 1/4-inch 20 tap.
Yep. Excuse me.
And then I found a piece of pipe and I cut me a piece of pipe. Let me get this apart. And this pipe just happened to be adequate to fit right there on the bottom of your sizing die. And then you would drill out the bottom of the case that's stuck in here, and I ain't putting it in there very far. Let me take this out where I can show you. So it was in here like that. And you can see where I drilled it and tapped it. And then you just put just using that as a collar. And then you take a bolt, thread it where you actually put a big old honking washer over that. And tighten that down, and it backs your case out. So that's what I did. Now
Similar to a RCBS kit.
Very similar, and they were like $38, and I had these washers and nuts, and all I really bought was the drill bit and the tap. And then when I got home, I realized I already had a drill bit and a tap. But I figured that I would get a lot of crap for using a quarter 20.
Yeah, 28's better, but just because it's a finer thread, it has better power. But if it's not stuck that bad, quarter 20 works.
Well, that worked, so I was proud of that. And then I'm going to get myself some kind of little kit to keep this together. And of course, you can make your piece of pipe doesn't have to be that long, but this is just black plumbing pipe, so it ain't like it's nothing particular. And I just cut it off with a hacksaw and filed it down smooth, sanded it a little bit.
I got a buddy who's constantly sticking 223s. He loves that Hornady one shot, and I've even bought him Imperial, but he doesn't use it. He likes that in the one shot because it sprays. And probably 3 times a year, maybe 4 times a year, he'll call me up and I'll go over and pull his die out of his sizing die, his case out of his sizing die. I get a free beer out of it, so it's not so bad.
Well, there you go. See, I knew 6-shooter was going to have something to say. What size is a number 7? That's where I get all confused, 6-shooter. I don't know the...
You got to get a drill chart.
Yeah.
With the numbers.
You go to buy a drill bit and it doesn't say, number 7. It says like that one, 1364s or something. There's Ocean. What's going on?
Hello, Julio. Hope you're feeling good, man.
Absolutely. So we're already 30 minutes into this.
Reloader 762's got a good science experiment to get that unstuck. Put his comment up there.
Let me see if I can find it. See, that ain't helping me none either. 6-shooter says 0.201. Andy says the number 7 is the number 7. Yeah. Yeah, that's my problem, Andy. Exactly. That's exactly my problem. Mike said, I just redneck it like you, Jamie. Number 7 is one bigger than a number 6.
Hey, Michael.
Bama Dad's preaching the Imperial case wax. I use the Hornady. What is it called?
One shot.
Unique. Hornady Unique.
Unique.
Oh yeah, the
Yep.
paste. Yep, that's good stuff too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this stuff right here, this Lee stuff,
That's pretty good too.
it's surprisingly good. I mean, really, it is.
So is boot. What is it? Not Minwax.
Mink oil.
Mink oil. Yeah, mink oil works fine too. Unless you're
Yeah.
allergic.
Yeah, 6-shooter, but I want to know all this stuff like you guys do. And like Mike said, the Rebel says just redneck it. But
I've just used that one shot aerosol, and knock on wood, I haven't stuck a case since.
you will.
I like that for a release agent. That's what I like it for. It works really good as a bedding release agent.
Right. And
And it works good for bullet lube too, for sizing. If you got some fat cast bullets, powder coated, it works nice for that too. You spray it in the bag,
I use-
and then you throw the bullets in the bag and shake them around. Works really nice for that too.
It's amazing how much just a little bit of that lube will
One
help
pump.
sizing a fat bullet.
And it was exactly like I said, Walter, that 285 die that I just got.
Oh,
First one through was even lubed, was very hard to push through. But after about the third one, it was working perfect. And that was lubricated.
yeah. Especially on a brand new die.
Yep. They're always tight for what it's got to be some kind of a sizing or sealant or something he puts on there to keep it from corroding, keeping it shiny.
Yeah, maybe it just makes it a little bit too skinny up in there by 10,000th or something.
so Bama Dad, MCK says that snowproof is the same thing as the Hornady Unique, and I think it's as good as Imperial Sizing Wax. Not used the Imperial Sizing Wax. There's Garage Guy.
Hey, Mark.
Welcome in, buddy. And of course, the Rebel. Platypus anal gland secretions work good if you can get it.
I can't get the
Yeah, the
platypus to
collection
stand still.
technique's a little rugged.
Yeah. I want to
I got a bottle of that in my basement. Who does not have platypus secretion gland lube? I mean, come on.
Mike Hester, spotted owl fat. Try that. It's a little bit easier to get and cheaper than the platypus gland.
I can't get the platypus to stand still. We'll get it in there.
Yeah, talking to it a little sweeter.
There's the AR Patriot Nation. What are you doing over there?
Yeah.
Someone's sorting brass.
Not me. I'm cleaning primer pockets.
Why don't you just deprime them and then put them in the tumble dryer or the
I
tumbler?
did that already. I got a couple of crimp primers that snuck in, and I'm just checking them, running them through the gauge. 300 blackout and 350 legend mixed.
I like 350 Legend.
Some of that 350 legend is actually crimped.
That does not surprise me.
Just another reason to use 4570.
If you could,
Very good. Very good. Okay, so we've been live here for right at 40 minutes. So we probably need to go through the side chat and say hey to everybody. So type in 350 for 350 Legend. I killed 2 deer with that last year. First 2 I've taken with 350 Legend.
Tree fitty.
350. And Viejo was first.
No, Hot Pot got me.
I got him this week.
Did
He
you
got
get
me.
him?
Yep.
Well, I'm off the page already, so I got to start. So we got reloading from the hot pot in the side chat and on the panel. And we got Viejo, Andy 79Z28, Hillbilly Up, Andy 79Z28, Bobby Barlow, Bama Dad. Had surgery today and he's already home. He's Superman, people.
Awesome.
Papa's Place, Info Bros, Andre D'Angelo, Reloader 762, Doug Thomas, 6-shooter Texan, Edward Petty, Duffer 426, Mark Thomas on the panel as well, Corners and Doors, Hipparchus, Daniel God is my judge, always picks on me when we do this because then he knows I'll do that, and that's why he does it. Michael Hurtneck, Glenn Davis, I got one for you, I hope. Garage Guy 879, Gizzard Gary, welcome. Walks Fletcher, MCK, Ron Wayne, 3040, Signal Soldier 31, James Pollard, Dale Pogue, Mike Hester, the Rebel, Alaska 1, Andy, Chessboard, Trees are blowing, AR, Patriot Nation, Fuzz T-Fork 8, Kyle, Hipparchus, Ocean 374, Tactical Fud, Rich B, Hillbilly Up, Glenn Davis, Chris from the 740, what's going on? Walks Fletcher, 357, Maximum, Ron Wayne, he's repeating, Abigail, Finnegan, and I think that's everybody. Tactical Fudge out there, did I call him? Dwayne 7834, Chris from the 740. Good to see you out there, man. I think that's everybody. We're showing 53 on here. Y'all humble us more than you'll ever know. And Scotsman's gone again. Oh, there's Tactical Rabbit and Rollis Carvelis. So, Tactical Rabbit, I'm trying to learn how to say chamfer instead of my usual camphor because we have the lazy southern tongue as we've all been accused of. So there's that. So we've talked about stuck cases. What about when you get one stuck in your barrel?
I have had that happen. I bought a brand
I've had it
new,
happen with handguns.
I bought a brand new Diamondback 308 AR rifle. Bought a, it was way before I started reloading. And I bought a box of factory ammo, took it out to a friend's property, loaded the mag, chambered one. It didn't chamber all the way. So I tried to extract it, stuck. My buddy showed up to his house and was like, "Hey man, what you got there?" So I got a stuck bullet. I got a stuck case in the damn gun. And he said, "I'll get it." And he took it in the garage and I kind of peeked in on him. He was taking a screwdriver in there and just popped that sucker around. I was just like, not something I want to do. But that was a long time ago. He got it out.
I overpressurized a 308 and the thing must have almost welded itself to the case, blew the back end out, all that their happy stuff.
Oh.
The gunsmith, he couldn't knock it out with the rods, sent it back to the manufacturer. They got the biggest guy in the shop in there. He got it out.
Wow.
Didn't charge me a thing.
Where do you get the pressure to blow it out? You said
He
the biggest
got
guy
it
in the shop now, remember.
It went back to LMT, so these guys are professionals. So they got Magilla Gorilla in there. I get probably with a huge pair of vice grips and his buddy hitting a rod on the other end and just beat the heck out of that thing. Then they turned around, shot the gun, made sure everything was still good.
Boy.
So there's two different ones. We had hot pot with one, a live round, and I had one that there was overpressurized because of a bad load.
Okay. Chessboard. Get some of this. Let me blow this up. You used to could get this stuff for a couple of bucks, but it's gone up like everything else. I think I paid $10 for this on Amazon, and it's 8 ounces, and you can see how much is gone. I used 1 ounce of this and 10 ounces of this, or you can use this whole bottle. And then I just mixed it up in a bottle like this, and I put the formula on the back. And it was filled up to like right there. And I've been using this for 4 years and hadn't used it all up yet. And what you do is you find yourself a Ziploc baggie, a bigger one. The freezer ones work better. And you put all your brass in there, and then just spritz it a couple of times, and then rub it real good, and then pour it out and let the alcohol evaporate out of it, and it works great. Then after I get through sizing my brass, I'll take it and chunk it in my vibratory tumbler with a half and half of 99% isopropyl works well too. But that stuff's going up too. So yeah, that's a very good case lube. I've never had a stuck case using that. But then after I get them all sized, I take them and put them in the vibratory tumbler, and I use half corn cob and half walnut. And go buy your walnut from the pet store. It's called lizard bedding, and it's like $8 for I showed that on one of my videos.
Yeah. It's really cheap to buy it that way.
It is.
But I think the corn cob takes off the lube a little bit better than that. That walnut shell stuff is not real absorbent. It's good for knocking the carbon and stuff off your cases, for cleaning the cases, but I think the corn cob stuff actually works better to pull the oil off.
Yeah, and I'll tell you how I got my I have 2 packing boxes full of corn cob media, and how I did that is I bought a 40-pound bag of horse bedding, and what that is corn cob pellets. And then I got a big pan and I put it in there and then sprayed it down with the hose pipe. And once you get it wet, it just pops out of that pellet, and then you run your fingers through it after it gets semi-dry, and it turns into a powder. And like I said, I've got 2 big old garbage bags full of that stuff. Just set out in the sun until it's bone dry, and you're looking at more of that stuff than you're ever going to use. And yeah, it's work, but and it's another pain in the butt to deal with, but you got a ton of the stuff that you got more of it than you'll use up in your lifetime, probably. There's Bald and Curious. What's going on, Bald?
Gary showed up too. Hey, Gary.
Yeah, Gizzard's been here for a while.
Has he? I missed him.
Yeah.
3Jeep had a video out this week, I saw.
If you just go in there and ask for it, they'll give you that. Yeah, that's a good deal. Chessboard. Is that the heat or the lanolin oil? I bet that's the heat. And the heat is just to dilute this lanolin oil because you can see how thick that stuff is.
Yeah.
And then it evaporates off your cases and it's ready to go. And
have you ever tried to mix that heat with isopropyl alcohol, even the 99, no, actually it's 91%?
Too much water in it. It doesn't mix well.
It does not mix well. You've got to use that heat. That is 99% alcohol.
Right.
Not isopropyl. Isopropyl will not mix that lanolin up at all. It'll stay curdled in the bottle.
Well, I bought 6 of these isoheat things.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still a little bit left in there, but I think next time I'm just going to pour the whole bottle in there.
I use that heat for degreasing anything I'm going to put sticker on, anything I'm going to adhesive like the vent shades on your car windows. I use that, and they've been on for 3 years and they're still solid.
Nice.
I generally use brake cleaner as a degreaser.
Yeah, that's good too.
Using that stuff, CW got me started using that several years ago as kind of a final finish up to cleaning up a new mold. After you take a new bullet mold in and they're all covered with grease and or even one of your own that you've loaded back up with mineral oil or something, you scrub them off in the sink with detergent and water and blow them off, get them good and dry, and go hit them with that brake cleaner, the non-chlorinated brake cleaner. That does seem to help get rid of those last little traces of whatever you left in there. It's got a pretty good blast on it, and it gets those mold blocks ready to go right away too. And then I noticed also, hey, this might work at getting the grease off of my wrench handle or something like that. It's actually pretty good stuff.
If you want to be stingy with that, because it can get expensive too, is you spray it into a pan or a bowl, glass preferably, or metal.
Reuse it.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised how much comes out of that nozzle when you're spraying.
Yeah, it's a good spray.
You'll get like a cup and a half of liquid.
Yeah,
that you would have just sprayed it.
That stuff comes out of there so fast. Yeah, you got to hold everything far away from you. You'll get it in your face.
So
I get mine at Harbor Freight.
You can use it. You can use it for soaking, for a solvent for soaking stuff. Put a lid on it because it'll evaporate.
Yeah, good idea.
You can be stingy with it and make it go a lot farther.
Yeah, good idea.
That is.
Yeah, I got a jar on my bench.
When you put that button all the way down and that stuff's pouring out of that can, let me tell you something. It don't take long to empty a can of brake cleaner.
Nope.
Yeah, it's got some poop behind it.
Yeah. Abigail, that's still not 99% alcohol, dear. Even the heads. There's just not. you can get it up to about 95, I guess. But 99% isopropyl is hard to find, Gary, and it's expensive when you do. There's Paul Loud. What's going on, buddy? That works too, Fuzz. Works very well. And that's what I generally do when I use that when I use the Lee stuff. I just use a microfiber and wipe it right back off of there. So my concern more than as far as cases stuck in the barrels in the chambers, of course you can take a brass rod and just knock them out the back of the chamber. But what about when you if it sticks in there when it's loading and you've got a loaded round stuck in there?
I recommend taking the barrel off the gun and having your buddy knock it out.
So let's take a look at this statement right here. $80 proof is 160% alcohol by volume, correct?
I thought that was be about 40%. 80 proof is 40.
Yeah, it's the other way.
Okay.
100 proof is 50%, 80, 40.
So at 40% alcohol by volume, when you buy that stuff at the store, that means 60% of it is water or some form of water. Abigail, I think 97% would work good enough for yeah, I got it backwards. I think 97% would work for making case lube with some lanolin oil. I saw Johnny's reloading bench do that. He sealed off the muzzle with one of his viewers actually made it. And he sealed off the end and put a Zerk fitting in there and took a grease gun and just pumped up the pressure until the case came loose. And when it did, it shot across the room and put a dent in his drywall. So there's that. We can see you now, CW.
I figured it out. There was a I turn it off. There was a little icon at the top of the screen that had the camera turned off. And I turned it on and it started a spinning wheel. And then it told me I had to restart. So I hit the button and didn't even think about it. Of course, it shut me right off. But it's working. So we're good.
There you go. That's what we've been talking about, Tommy boy. This is the stuff, and it ain't that expensive. It wasn't when
I thought
bought
heat was methanol. Didn't heat methanol?
No, the iso heat's methanol, and the red is 99% alcohol.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is ISO heat right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the isopropyl.
ISO heat helps prevent fuel line freeze up if you start using it before cold weather.
Yeah.
And if you have fuel line freeze up, the ISO heat's good to put in. ISO heat is actually denser than the isopropyl. The methanol is denser, so it goes to the bottom of your tank where the water is going to settle. So it helps absorb. So it helps neutralize and absorb that water. Don't ask me how I know this dumb shit. Dumb stuff. I just do. I don't know.
I don't know as far as the guns or whatever, but there's some stuff out there called Seafoam that helps real well when you put it in fuel to
I love that stuff.
rid of that water.
Oh, Seafoam is good for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that stuff. I use it for all my small engines. Every can of gas I fill has got to have Seafoam in it first, otherwise I won't fill it.
Helps get rid of that varnish out of your carburetor.
Yeah, it's a stabilizer. You know, it cuts down on moisture. It lengthens the fuel. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is in every four-wheeler, ATV, gas can, lawnmower, chainsaw, anything I have them that belongs to me has Seafoam in it.
Yep.
There's so much of stuff that has water. I worked at a job one time. It was a lot we were renting, and it had big gates that slid open and closed. You know, they're kind of like chain link. And so, like the rollers, and then of course they had locks on them, and it was cold, and some of them were sticking and stuff. So one of the guys took upon himself go spray everything down with WD-40. Well, it was cold out, so that just froze everything. You couldn't get a key in a lock. You couldn't get nothing to move because all that WD-40 had so much water in it. You know, it just froze. And
You know, WD-40 is highly flammable as well.
Never tried to set it on fire.
I never tried either.
I've never tried. I've just seen it happen.
Uh-huh.
I was doing some research for myself on molybdenum disulfide because I was given about 3,500 bullets from the guy who was helping out past couple of days, and they're all commercially cast 9mm round nose that have been molly coated, and they've been sitting around for years and years. It was probably 20 years ago. Yeah, it was probably 20 years ago. Molly made a big hit, and everything was coming out Molly. You could get jacketed bullets Molly. They were selling Molly kits. It was supposed to be the new latest and the greatest, cut down on fouling, but a lot of people found out that it impregnates, and it can't. It's very difficult to clean off once it gets on something. So they got afraid of it, and no one wants to use it anymore. So it's a 9mm round nose, so it's nothing I'm going to really use. I mean, I could probably shoot some of them, but I never shoot anywhere near that many. So I figured I'd just melt them down. So I want to do some research and make sure that I wasn't going to have any problems with the molly in the casting pot, you know. And I've thrown, you know, a handful in through the years. I've had it before, but never had this much quantity. It's probably 150 pounds of bullets. It's a lot. And its melting point is 4,300 degrees. So it's gonna laugh at 800, 750. What my
good grief!
It doesn't mean nothing. So I guess it's gonna float to the top. It should still be not as dense as the lead, so it should come to the surface. We'll see.
If it comes off the lead at all.
I mean, I would think.
Are the bases coated also or not?
Yeah, complete. You put it on.
It's
You
completely-
apply it with
might-
BBs in like a tumbler,
No.
and it
Yeah,
just
not loose.
impregnates into the surface. So
Wow.
it turns your fingers, dingy, but it doesn't make them black. So it doesn't come off like rubs off, but it. So we'll see. I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
I can't see.
I've never ever shot those or loaded them at all. I remember when they came out, and I just never
Yeah.
got any. I never had any particular use for them.
Yeah, I actually got some from a manufacturer when they first did it. I was this was probably 89 or 90. I was playing with the 3220 a lot, and I was talking to the guy, and he said, "Oh, we've got a 115 grain bullet that would work for the 3220." So I said, "Oh, okay. Well, bring me some into Molly. I'd like to try it." Well, he bought me like 500 100 round boxes, and I still have probably 4 or 5 of those 10 boxes he gave me from 20 years ago. They worked fine.
Well,
I just
yeah.
didn't shoot that many of them.
while you're melting those 9mm, throw those in too. Then
Yeah, throw those in
you're
too.
not going to use them.
And I got my kit in today to change over the. I'd show you, but I got it. I got the upper attached to the lower, and I don't want to show a firearm, but I got the free float tube off, and I put a clamshell A2 handguard on to try and save some weight, because this is that.
Tommy Boy said he melted a bunch of them down last week, and they melted fine.
Yeah. Okay. This is on that heavy barreled SCR that I showed in a couple of videos back. That really,
Right.
really fat barrel that I put the one from the red dot, the Primary Arms red dot went on it, and I had to open up the front cap that holds the front of the handguard. Goes behind the gas block, and it sandwiches between the shoulder of the barrel and the gas block, and it goes, the gas tube goes through it. And it's just a stamped piece of tin to hold the front of the handguard. Well, it probably took me 20 minutes to open that up with a Dremel tool, because the barrel's so fat it wouldn't go over the barrel. That's that gas block has got to be, oh God, it's got to be 800 anyway. It's giant fat, and the barrel's bigger on the inside of the handguard.
Yeah. Wow.
It's probably a full inch inside the handguard, and then like 875 or whatever that big size is. It's not 920. I checked it with a 1022 cutoff barrel I had. It's the 1022 barrel's bigger, and those are usually 920. So if memory serves, the big size for AR gas blocks is 875. So that's huge.
Yeah, I
Well,
remember
nothing-
looking at that barrel on your video. That thing was just
Yeah, it's giant.
gargantuan.
I wanted to use this. This is the Magpul handguard. But it won't. The way it works is this: the heat shield is only on one side, and then the top sandwiches over it. But it pinches. The barrel is so fat, I can't get this to pinch down to allow this to go on and engage that front all at the same time like it's supposed to. That front won't engage. There's a little collar in there. It's recessed, but there's a little collar in it that goes in that front piece. It won't go on because the barrel's so stinking fat. So I had to use a regular A2 carbine handguard, but it looks good, and it's just as light as that would have been. So it did the same exact thing. It just doesn't quite look as cool. Thanks, Dave. So I was thought about doing a video on that, but I figured it being an AR and working on it, taking it apart. I figured YouTube wouldn't like it, so I didn't even bother.
Get you a Dremel.
Yeah, I used a Dremel. I used a Dremel in a stone. I had a 1/2-inch stone. It worked pretty good. I had a carbide burr, but it was supposed to fit. I thought it would fit a Dremel, but I think they're 1/8-inch bits, and I didn't have a collet. It's a little bigger than 1/8 inch. I didn't have a collet big enough. I had smaller collets. I didn't have larger collets. You know, the little 4-fingered collet inside the nose of the Dremel.
Yeah,
Little-
some of them
little
come with
aluminum.
two different sizes. I'm not sure if the larger one will do the 1/8 or not.
Yeah, I have four different sizes, but they're all smaller than the biggest one. And the biggest one is what I call the standard one. That's what most of my bits are. I'm thinking it's 1/8 or thereabouts. But it worked good. Opened it right up, slid it over. Didn't have any problems. The screws came out of the gas block because I put them on and I knew I'd done them right. So
All right, there's a question for the panel from Mr. Walt. Hillbilly, do you own a Dremel?
Yeah, it's 2-stroke gas powered.
there you go. Put some reeds and pipes on that. That'll really cut metal.
You betcha.
Hot Pipe,
Oh, yeah.
you have a Dremel?
Sir, I have 2 Dremel tools, and I buy those multi Dremel tool packs when they come on sale. So I get all the cutting wheels, all the bits, all the sanding drums, all the polishing wheels. And once it starts getting down to scraps, it hits the trash, and I go buy another one.
I was really thinking of getting dangerous and getting a battery powered one. Boy, the damage I could do with that.
Ooh. I do have like everybody else. I got that little specialty box, you know, with the ones you use all the time. Got to have that little specialty box too. That's in.
I had a battery powered one, and the battery powered one I had, just the battery didn't last very long, and it was worthless. I thought.
Oftentimes,
I bought myself a brand new set this year.
Gotta be more.
I had the old school Dremel. I must have had that thing for 30 more than that. I had that thing 40 years, and it finally, the brushes and the motor were about shot. So I bought the new one in the big box with angles. And,
That's what I had. I had an old Craftsman. It was probably 40 years old, and I bought a new one of the gray and blue new Dremels.
Yep.
Maybe 20 years ago, and like 2 or 3 years later, my father bought me one with a kit for Christmas. So I've got 2 almost the same. It's handy though. I leave them both set up. I leave a cutting wheel in one and a stone in the other, and I'm always using them.
Yep.
Yeah, I've literally, my old one, I've took the brushes out, I've turned them to where it finally got down to just no nubs like on either side of the brushes. And I looked out and found another one in a yard sale, but it wasn't working right. Something's messed up with the cord. So I stole the brushes out of that one. It's the same brand Craftsman as mine was. And so that thing's still going. It's been going for years.
Yeah, it's one of those things you wonder how you can get by without them. Once you have one, how am I going to do? What am I going to? Oh yeah, the Dremel.
They're really handy. They're really handy.
Man, I would love to have one of them air powered ones, 6. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you just have to have a heck of a compressor go along with it because people a lot of air in those things.
Harbor Freight today looking for a high-speed 1/4-inch, colleted angle grinder. There's a couple companies make it. I know Milwaukee has one. It's one of the better ones, but they're pretty expensive. I figured for what I need it for, a Harbor Freight would probably be fine and save me a whole pile of money, but they don't have one. At least they didn't have one at my store. I'll have to look online. But I did find something that was pretty neat. I was looking for canned air. I don't use it very often, it's handy to have. I should just run a compressor and run a line off my compressor in here is what I should do, but I don't. This is my newer reloading room, and they're like $10-12 a can for air. They now make
what?
battery ones that are a little like a little small little drill gun thing, and they showed in the video it blows just as hard as these, and it's one-time purchase like $30, and it just
got this thing. It's a Ryobi, one of their 18-volt tools, and it's an inflator, and it's not like a tire inflator. It's designed for blowing up air mattresses and stuff.
I saw
that thing has an output like you wouldn't believe it. So that stays on my bench now, and I use that for blowing anything that you use canned air for.
I'll have to check.
Oh man,
I saw those at Harbor Freight. They had them at Harbor Freight, but I said I don't need one of those. I didn't even pick it up.
You can probably put an
this thing puts out a lot of air. What's that?
You probably put an airbrush on that.
You might be able to, but it doesn't have any kind of filters or anything on it. I'll do a short video on it on how I use it, because I bring my molds out of the sink when they're all wet, and I used to hook up with the compressor. Now I just pull that thing and it'll blow that mold out of your hand if you don't hang on to it.
Wow. I'll check that.
It's incredible. Yeah, dusting off everything. I'll do a short video on it tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to, because I think I need one of those.
Yeah.
They're great.
I tried to pick it up. I looked right at it. I said, I don't need that. I let it
Keep
sit.
that away from cuts. If you got cuts on your hand or finger when you're doing that, you'll blow it up like a big old balloon.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful.
Let me ask you, fellas, you ever went to those tool sales where they pull in a couple semi trucks and they rent out the local, VFW or whatever, and then they got all those tools on sale? We've got some good stuff in there, but I remember one time we got this bench grinder, and boy, you turn it on, it spins great. You go to grind something, and it just goes, slows down. So you got to back off of it and start back in again. Oh, man. Some of those tools, like you plug them in and they'll just start smoking, but some of them's good.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's the motor.
Yeah.
I had a bandsaw. I bought a bandsaw from work. They had bought it. It's a Grizzly. It's a cheap name brand. And I asked them, what's going on with this? They said, oh, we're gonna throw that away. I said, it's brand new. No, it doesn't work right. Literally brand new. And that's exactly what was wrong with it. The motor, it would run fine, and as soon as you try and cut a piece of wood or something, it would slow down to nothing. So it just needs a new motor.
Here's this thing that I'm talking about, and it's got a different little inflator nozzle or something in there, but that thing flat puts out some air. Not only that, but you pull the trigger once and it stays on. You don't have to hold the trigger down. It stays on till you pull it again.
I'm gonna check that.
I'm telling you what, and I think I paid $20 or something for it. It was a sale deal.
I think that's all these were. Goodness. They had, like I said, there was 2 or maybe 3 there, and I want to say they were like $20. Yeah. No battery. You get batteries extra. It's just the
right.
tool.
That was the same thing with that one.
But they want to buy the battery. That's what they want to sell you. It's like.
Well, yeah, and the battery can be $100 for those big 6 amp hour ones.
Yep.
But I got like 20 of them.
Walter, Reload.
Yes, sir.
762. That's for a demo. Can you blow dry your hair or something with
it? What hair?
Gene, are you ready?
I could blow dry both of them with that.
Am I ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
It's time for What's Hot Pot Got?
Hot Pot Got.
What a picture.
That's it.
Tonight, there as my pupils out there, I got something I found. Some may know what it is, some may not, but I'm going to give it to you anyways. we have us a rifle cartridge from World War II. And this is a 7.7 Jap Arisaka. The Arisaka cartridge was the standard military cartridge for the Imperial Japanese Army. It was in service during World War II. It was only in service from 1940 to 1945. Been a little beat up. You know, stuff comes through the machine. You never know about it. But I just, like many others, I seen this and it just stood out to me outside the normal what I see. I snagged it, tucked it in my pocket, and then looked it up later as to what it really was. And this case is a Norma case. So they do still make these. They're kind of hard to find, but you know, in order to reuse these, you're pretty much going to have to be a reloader.
Yeah, that loaded ammunition is not easy to find.
No.
Can you hold it sideways? Let us have another good look at the profile. What you see there, what strikes my attention right off is how long the body of the case is and how short the neck is and how short the shoulder is. They want maximum powder volume, do they not?
It's quite a modern design, really is. I mean, it's very little taper in a time period when our cartridges had quite a bit of taper. Our cartridges had long necks. We liked a long neck, and that's got a shorter neck. That's more like a blown out 300 Savage or something like that. You know, it's a good looking case.
It was used in rifles and machine guns.
Hot pot.
It was actually part of the naval. It was geared for the naval service.
So hot pot. Do you know why it was only in service from 1941 to 1945?
Because the war ended.
I was gonna say they lost.
Yeah, pretty much they lost. But it was a good cartridge. The 6. For it, they had a 6.5 caliber too.
It's really interesting finding these cartridges and doing the homework on them and getting them to share with everybody out there.
You'd be shocked how many 6.5s existed from the 30s to the 50s. There's a whole pile of them. Almost all the countries had them.
Yeah, the 6.5 by 55. What's that? Swede.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest ones. There was a 6.5 Arisaka. There's a Norwegian. Another one besides the Mannlicher Schonauer. There's the Italians had one.
I still find a lot of the Swede brass when I go through stuff.
Yeah, that's the most common one.
I still find quite a bit of that.
That's the most common.
But everybody, that's what Hot Pot's got.
Thank you,
That was a
Mr.
good one, Gene. Thank you.
Good night, Ashley. Sleep well.
Good night, Ashley. Did you say the diameter of the bullet, Gene? I walked away to get a soda. 312,
no.
The Fat 30.
No, I did not. The parent case to it is the 8 by 57 millimeter. I did not see the diameter of the bullet.
312.
Just ask CW. Very interesting stuff. I like finding things like that. It's, just the history of all the cartridges just, is phenomenal. There's so many.
Oh, yeah.
Only CW would know them all.
I don't know them all. I just know a lot of them.
Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. Who does have that, Mike? But this is important. We're still trying to raise money for Lakeview Outdoors, and Bald is still taking donations to win the 10 millimeter 1911, which happens to be manufactured by Kimber. And
I believe he's only selling 50 of those. Am I not? Is he not? So it's a limited. It's a pretty good chance you're going to win. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
he wanted to raise 10,000. He's selling. I forget how many. They're $50, and I got to send him another $50. I got one entry, but I would like to help more. And
Hey, CW, here's one from Reloader 762.
yeah, you can't make 7.7 Japanese from 30-06 brass. Imagine it's probably too short. But there's the link if y'all want to go get a chance to win that prize. That's a nice, very nice prize. Mike Hester's got that. How did I know? And didn't that say that was a black powder round?
Mm-hmm. That's what they said.
11.43 by 53 Mannlicher. What country of origin would that be? Rebel.
Yes, you can. You can make 7.7 from 30.06. It's a little shorter than the 06. I think it's 58 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. So the 30.06 is 63. So you can, and the diameters are okay.
All right, Bald. I'll try to get at least one more entry over that way as soon as I can. But let me see if I can. I can't. I bet I can't do it. Can I? No. I'm gonna put that. I'm wanting to copy and paste that into a banner to scroll across the bottom of the screen, but I can't do it. Can't copy and paste a comment. So let's just leave that up there for a little while, and I'll encourage y'all to help Lakeview out and help Bald raise some money. $5 millimeter difference.
Dave wanted to know the differences between the G2 Contender and the Encore. Basically, it's size. The G2 is what took over from the original Contender. And if you look at them side by side, they're really not a lot other than basic shape. And the Encore basic shape is the same as the Contender, but it's much thicker through the sides of the frame to cut down on that frame stretching that I was talking about in my video. It'll take higher pressure cartridges, safer. I don't believe they run them up too high, but it's safer with them. And of course, they don't make the original one anymore. They just make they don't make any of them now, but they just made the G2 after they discontinued the original one. I believe they offered it custom shop for a while, but of course everything's gone now. That's a shame. They were nice guns. The Encores kind of priced themselves into a very limited market. They pushed them real hard. If you watched all those deer hunting shows in the 2000s, about everybody had an Encore. About everybody hunting had an Encore, and they pushed them hard. But they were expensive. And they were good, but they were costly for what they were, a single shot gun. I never had an Encore. I just had Contenders.
It only takes one shot.
Oh, you're right. You don't really need more. But I'm just saying, for the price you pay, it's still only a single shot. So
I would like to acquire Encore Pro Hunter.
Well, you got that number one. You'll be happy with that when you get that running.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be.
That's a really nice. That's copied after a Corson. That's a quality. That's a Ruger. It's a nice gun.
So, Bald, we got a question for you out there. Christian guest wants to know when you're planning on giving it away. You got it, Ron. My dad's in the similar shape, man. I got to go tomorrow and get him a shower. And when you start having to give your pop a shower,
Well,
biggest thing.
anything like my pop, he just forced me down the garden hose or a pressure washer. So
That's the way he would do me.
So
Yeah,
I
one
guess
day-
one good turn deserves another, right? Take them outside, get the hose on them.
Yeah. The one day your mom's gone and your dad's like, you need to clean up, boy.
Yeah, Ron, maybe we should get together and talk. And
Uh-oh.
maybe we can pray together. Send me an email and I'll call you up. And there he is. Are we ready? In 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Mario.
What's up, you dirty little green creature?
All right. So, y'all ready for the Bible verse of the week?
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Let me see. Can I do this right quick? We are talking about Romans chapter 10, verses 12 and 13. And again, we got to work on the context here. It has been said that that Romans is the most complete and systematic explanation of the gospel in the Bible. So that being said, and we'll talk about chapter 9. Paul in chapter 9 does a fairly extensive what's the word? He talks a lot about predestination and predetermination and the Jews and that kind of thing going on in chapter 9. And some of it's hard to understand. But when we get to chapter 10, verses 12 and 13, it says, "For there is no distinction between Jew and Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich to all who call upon him." 13, "For whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved." So last week we talked about how there's no other name given among men by which we must be saved. So pretty much establishing Jesus says you need to go through him to get to God. In this verse, we're talking that kind of leads us to the exclusivity of Christ as Savior. But in here, we see the universal uh, availability of God's love toward us through Jesus. And when we see right here in the first part, there's no distinction between Jew or Greek. In other words, okay, for the first century Jewish people, there were two types of people. There were Jews, and then there were everybody else. So what Paul is establishing here is that it don't matter what your nationality is, what race you are, what your creed is, or anything. For the same Lord over all is rich to all who call upon his name. So you ain't got to be born into a certain family or in a certain country or anything else. All you got to do in verse 13 is call on the name of the Lord and you shall be saved. And earlier in the chapter, he's talking about how you really got to mean it, though. You know, you just can't, like what I've said before, head knowledge versus heart knowledge. It's all about your heart. So, anybody else got anything to say about those verses?
I just say, whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. That's there's a big movement going on about predestination now, but that just says it right there. Whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Yeah, and see, all of that's in Romans chapter 9. Paul goes up and down about that predestination stuff. And it's brought up in the Bible so much that you cannot do like some churches do and just totally disavow that and act like it's not in the Bible. I mean, it's in there. It's repeated more in one place. So there's something to predestination and predetermination.
There's
So
something to it, but do we understand it all yet?
we don't have to, man.
Yeah.
That's what we need to focus on is not so much about our particular denomination's beliefs and this other denomination's. We don't need to focus on the things that divide us. What we need to focus on is Jesus, because we can all be united in and under and through him. And that's focus on the things that unite us rather than the things that divide us.
Petty arguments only cause division.
Guess what? There's not going to be Methodists and Baptists and Catholics and Episcopalians. That's not going to be in heaven. As a matter of fact, we're not even going to be married in heaven. Jesus said that. And I believe it. Billy, your brain's churning. I can hear wood burning.
There's a little hamster running around the wheel. Well, yeah, so in that case, I mean, it don't matter what firearm you got. If it's a Sky, a Jimenez, a Glock, whatever. Everybody, there's no different places in heaven, is there? That's just joking. Yeah, I mean,
No, there's
It
no
is.
place in heaven for Jimenez and Glocks, but there'll be plenty of Smith and Wessons and Rugers and CZ.
Here, here.
I don't know what you're going to do when you get there, Hillbilly, because there ain't going to be a high point to be found.
Yep, probably no hard seltzer to shoot either. So,
Yes, the Lord
Yeah,
is
I
not
mean-
racist.
yeah,
Go
this
ahead.
is exactly. I mean, right. It don't matter. We're all children of God, and same as us as fathers or mothers. We love our children, and so to him, we all are his children, and it don't matter what differences, because God made all of us. God don't make junk. I'll tell you that right now.
Absolutely.
He does not make junk, and so every person, regardless, is molded and precious, and they're his children, and it doesn't matter. I mean, honestly, it don't. And a lot of people say, well, it's kind of hard for me to understand this. How do you guys know for sure? How can you rationale? How can you ration that in your brain? I mean, how can you figure that out and stuff? And it's like I told my daughters when they were young, as they started getting a little older, and it was taught, of course we went to church and talking about faith and stuff like that. And it's like I told them, I was like, so when you was just a little bitty girl and you come to me and your little baby doll, the arms like pulled completely out of there, or the head or whatever, you do not have, at that age, you do not have the knowledge and ability to put that back in there, pop the arm back in or the head back on, whatever. But to you, your world was lost. You were bawling. All you knew was that something was broken. It wasn't right. And you had no way to fix it. You cannot understand how to fix it. But what'd you do? You yelled, Dad, Mom, you're crying. And to us, we had the more knowledge than you did that you couldn't understand. And what Dad do? I took the arm of the baby doll. I worked it back in the socket, popped it right back in, worked good as new. The tears dried up. I mean, and that's just a small deal that, like I tried to explain to my children when they were young and growing up, we don't have the knowledge to understand what heaven's going to be like and all this, but it is truth. And there's no doubt in my mind that it is. And so it don't matter what race, how you brought up, the color of your skin, your hair, anything. I mean, God is your Father, and the way to Him is through Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's what you said. It's faith. It's faith. How do you know? Because it's faith.
Yeah.
It's faith. I have faith that it's true.
You betcha.
Mr. Pollard says Jesus is a 1911 kind of guy.
45 ACP.
Well, it's been said it's his caliber.
Yeah. So that's our verse of the week. Walter, no comments. Gene?
I'm sorry, I was
The Lord,
conversing over in the side chat.
the end product is the Lord is not racist. If you have faith, He has you. That's the end product. That's why I don't understand how. I don't understand how human beings can be racist against someone of a different color, ethnicity, background, race, upbringing, rich, poor. I don't get it.
Well,
I'm not. I'm not racist to anyone in any way. Naturally, I'm slightly judgmental because I think that's a human characteristic flaw.
The Bible says, how can you say you hate your brother, someone that you can see, and then in the same breath say you love God, someone that you've never been able to see? So that just expounds what you said there about God is not a racist.
Yeah. I have brothers and sisters all over the place that don't look like me, but that doesn't matter. It's what's in their heart that matters.
Yeah, and that pretty much reflects what I would say too. And the verse is one of the simplest yet most profound in all the Bible. You know, it in one sentence pretty much says it all. Everybody is the same in the eyes of God. Period. There's no qualification, you know, in the next verse that says except for this guy or that guy or the guy who, you know, shot the raccoon out of your garbage can.
Yeah, the only except the one that hasn't put their faith in him. That's the only except.
Yes.
That's the only other, and it's not. Racist is a man thing. It's not a God thing. It never has been, and there's no even definition of it, way, shape, or form in with the Lord. It says anti. It's a man thing. It's totally, man-made.
Absolutely. Man-made.
It's
Exactly.
It's man's own insecurities.
Mm.
And I don't happen to be insecure.
Ain't it beautiful to watch very young children that don't understand words? They don't watch the news. They don't listen to anything that's been told. To see them together.
Yeah, throw them in a sandbox and watch what happens. You're not going to see
They love each other.
racism.
Right?
You're going to see one that throws sand on another one, and another one that's kissing on another one that's playing with another one, not even thinking about boy, girl, yellow, green, orange, blue. It doesn't make any difference. Out of the mouths of babes is, how many.
And all of our faults from there downhill are learned.
Yeah, it's all man-made. It's all man-made. It's what's taught and instilled and learned. Learned behavior.
Yeah.
And it's not learned from the Lord.
Yeah.
That
was a good choice, Jamie.
Yeah. I get a lot of foot traffic in my neighborhood. And if I'm outside and I see anybody walking by, I speak to them. Hey, how you doing? And you can tell which ones are racially flawed by the way they just look at you. Why are you talking to me? Who are you?
They go back home and tell their mom, hey, that guy in the corner's got all them guns was talking to me today.
It's
Pretty cool, guys. Thanks for indulging me.
It's so funny. I mean, to look at the bigger picture. People today are like, everybody is just, everybody. It's just a term I'm using, but most people are just in their own world. The way they drive, the way they act, the way they do everything. But when they're face to face with you, they'll be so judgmental of you because your hair is long, or you have no hair, or your skin is a different color, or you have tattoos, or anything. You wear glasses, you don't wear glasses. It's really strange and odd that
I've been I've been tattooed since I was very young, very heavily. And I have, walking into a grocery store, I've had people turn around and walk the other way as I walk toward them because they see my tattoos. They judge me immediately on my tattooing. Well,
where there's an unwritten rule as to what is an acceptable amount or an acceptable place.
Yeah. What? Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't make the person I am inside. That's my external. That's my siding. That's not my couch.
I think
If I could say one quick thing, Jamie. Also, Rich White, fellow YouTuber. Keep him in your prayers. He was, I believe, at Walmart. I believe is where he's at, and got dizzy or fell down, took a pretty bad hit on the head, and so he's got like doctor's appointments coming up to see if they can figure out what it was or what caused it and everything. But
Well, Bama Dad, I want to comment on this. He says, or acceptable content of the ink itself. What is acceptable?
It's
It's
an unwritten acceptable.
It's personal choice.
Yeah.
As to what is acceptable. Your pants may be too short. Is that acceptable to me? No. So, if you want to judge somebody on acceptable content of a tattoo that they have, someone's going to judge you on your high water pants. Walk behind you laughing at you through Walmart. That's why it's best not to judge. That's that person's personal decision. It doesn't matter what they have on them. What's in their heart? Are they a good person? I've lived a lifetime of judgment for my decision to be a tattooist. Lifetime. I've had city councils demean me for my profession. And in turn, I joined the city council, the Chamber of Commerce, the Kiwanis Club, and the Rotary. I wore a suit and tie, and I showed them that I was an actual intelligent human being that could conduct my business correctly and bring profit to the other businesses in town.
I think we just should all stay out of Walmart.
We're 10 minutes above the hour. It's time to go through the room and see what everybody's got going on for this coming week. Make room for Gizzard Gary in 10 minutes.
yeah, I go to Walmart, Daniel, so I don't get sick. I just lick the door handle outside every time I go, and I don't get sick or nothing.
I just don't want to be one of the people of Walmart.
all right, so who's going first? Daniel, since you ain't been on a while, you go first. What you got coming up this week?
I actually have a video that's in the making. I did in a long time. Got half the test and stuff all done today, and tomorrow it's gonna. Now I got a goat show to go with the wife tomorrow. So either Saturday evening or Sunday, I'll do the rest of the shooting. That's with a pew pew, and chop everything together down to 3 minutes. Take 2.5 days and 1 day editing just for a 3-minute video for something that I paid my own money for, that a lot of people are looking at and drooling over right now. And I actually got my hands on one that and I bought it myself because that's the only kind of reviews that I'm doing. So I'm going to put that out there just to keep the channel alive. And the temperature's dropping. Deer season's coming up.
Yeah, baby.
So I'm looking forward to go out and sit in the woods, and I might even video a little bit of wildlife out there. But thanks for having me on and the invite, Jamie.
Man, it's good to have you on. I've been
Thank
missing you since Scotsman ain't been having the Sunday night thing.
Did he get like a girlfriend or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll talk in the after chat.
It's a suspicious kind of thing. Don't come around no more. Don't make no videos no more.
Don't have his live stream no more.
I figure
All
when
right.
that's my business, Scotsman will tell me it's my business.
Right. Yeah. So go ahead, Mark. What you got coming up this week?
Well, I am hoping to do a little bit of casting. Maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. I don't know if I'll get to do any shooting. don't really have any great plans for any videos, but just might put a little something together. Just looking forward to fall. It's it's been 80 degrees here every day this week. It's 10 o'clock and we got windows open and ceiling fans going. This is not what Pennsylvania's supposed to feel like on October 6th. So I'm looking forward to the cool weather, looking forward to spending some time in the woods. And maybe when I do, I'll take y'all along. Thanks for having me. Been a great evening.
Well, thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you more than you know. I'm one behind on yours. I hadn't seen the cross draw one yet for the 380, so I got to check that one out. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Walter, you next.
Okay, well, again, thanks for the invitation as always to be here and participate in this panel and interact with all you good folks over there in the side chat. So always a highlight of my week for sure. And don't think for a minute that it's not, because all of us up here are really having a lot of fun talking with you guys. And again, side chat tended to carry the discussion tonight, and that was great. As far as what I got coming up, I got a video out today, a free the few video that I've been doing on Fridays, and we got Moldy Monday coming up on Monday, and tomorrow, let's see, I went to the range today and shot 3 of my 22 pistols, so I'll clean those tomorrow. It was too hot in the garage to do it today. And then Sunday, I've got one of our wine clubs is having a big fiesta, and so a bunch of friends and I are going to go up there Sunday and enjoy that with some barbecue and some wine tasting and camaraderie and friendship and having a good time. So that's what we got going on.
Thanks for being here, man. We appreciate you. Mr. Gene, are we going to see videos from the Handgun National?
Yes, you will. I shot video of actually Miss Hot shot videos of every stage I shot today. So I'll do little compilations of each day. I got 2 more days of shooting to go. Really looking forward to it. Looking to getting back out there tomorrow and Sunday. A lot of good camaraderie at the range. A lot of people who aren't judgmental at the range. A lot of people that take you for who you are and what you're doing. Because we're all out there trying to live our life and do the best we can. Let's see. I'm going to start the video series every Friday, Safe Queens. I got episode 2 coming out next Friday. I'm going to try to get a Wednesday shooting video of each item. If anybody's seen this past Friday's, today's video, this past Friday, today's video, very interesting one, very rare one. Next Friday is going to be a banger. So be sure on the lookout for that. Other than that, man, everybody have a great, blessed weekend. Thank you very much, Jamie, for hosting this. We all really appreciate you and love you, brother.
Thanks for being here, man. I'm looking forward to the Safe Queens thing.
Thanks for having me.
And I got so many of you guys' videos I got to catch up on. Mr. Hillbilly, what you got coming up?
Hey, buddy. Oh, man, we got all kinds of stuff coming up. I put out a little teaser short today. I'll be making we'll be putting a full-length video out. Started a little challenge called Hillbilly Beer Bowling. So we'll have to go and check that out. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. Just still got different videos, a lot of videos coming out. We got Guns, Beer, and Therapy tomorrow night on channel Hillbilly Up at 9 Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you guys can make that, make sure you come over and visit us. We just try to have a fun time over there. And that's been about it, buddy. Just trying to create some videos and give people a smile.
Yes, sir. Thanks for being here, brother.
Thanks for having me.
CW, that leaves you, brother.
That's just me. Well, I want to thank everybody for being on the panel tonight. I want to thank everybody in the side chat. Had a pretty good show. Went along pretty quick. I can tell when they're good because they zip right by. Before you know it, you're another half hour in, another 45 minutes in, and you're done. So it was pretty good. And just want to remind everybody to pay attention to those people in your life that you love. Let them know that you love them, because today is a gift. It's the present, and tomorrow is not guaranteed. Keep a lot of people in our family, our YouTube family, in your prayers. There's too many to list, but we've named a few of them throughout the show. They can really use your prayers and your kind thoughts, and reach out and say hello. I got 2 or 3 calls today that was pretty nice. I get calls regular from you guys, and I really appreciate it. Checking on me, and it's been really helpful, and I really, really, really appreciate it. I know I'm going to have a bunch of videos. I'm going to have a range day tomorrow. Just released one this morning with 7:30. I got 2 more in queue, and I'll be making more as we go. So I'll have probably a lot more content going forward. May move into some fishing stuff. We'll see how it goes. See if the views are there. See if people want to see it. But I had a couple requests for a couple things, and I got those to do. So we'll see how they go. Jamie, we're cutting you short, but you got a minute to close us out.
Well, thanks for being here, CW. We love you, brother, and I'm going to try to get another video up, if not this weekend, early next week. We're up to priming in our 308 series, and we're just kind of showing different options for how to do different things. So I hope y'all check it out when it hits. GGW got it right. Go Dogs. A big game this week as Kentucky comes to town to play my Bulldogs. Let's see. Gizzard Gary is next. He's probably starting about right now. So if I'll shut up, y'all can probably get over there. Tomorrow, Caliber Corner, early in the morning, 9 Eastern time. Then we got G23 at 6 Eastern. We got Uncle Jim at 8. We got Guns, Beer, and Therapy with Hillbilly up at 10 Eastern. Sunday, 2 o'clock, First Shed with Georgia Trapping and Fishing. And then if Scotsman decides to do a Sunday night roundtable, that'll be Sunday at 7. We hope the Lord blesses y'all all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock.